Hi, everybody. I'm going to try this again. We are doing section V of Algebra 1, which is about exponents, and we're going to do multiplication with exponents. So there's probably various kinds of problems that involve hopefully the same bases in most cases, and this is the same base. Kind of a bad example because u to the u squared times u squared is u to the fourth, not because 2 times 2 is 4, but because 2 plus 2 is 4. So we'll just do this one and then we'll talk about it in a bit. U raised to the fourth. Hopefully that makes sense. What I mean is it's a bad example because it could be done the wrong way and still get the right answer. All right, in this case, of course, we have S multiplied together, silly thing, S multiplied together 8 times. So there are 8 S's being multiplied together. And then we have 9 S's being multiplied together. And altogether, you have 17 S's multiplied together. And we could write them all out and count them, but hopefully this makes sense. And this is the reason why we say when you multiply bases, you add exponents, because we're talking about how many S's we're multiplying together and how many. And when you take how many and how many, you're doing addition. So this is S raised to the 17th power. That should be enough explanation. We'll talk about the more complex type later, but this one, of course, is R to the 9th. I'm just adding them up. And this one is D to the 12th. And this one is S to the 10th. And this one is U to the 8th. Now, one thing to watch for is that, of course, you have to be dealing with the same base. So that is a difference. In this case, we have the same base. We have G raised to the 14th power. 5 of them and 9 more makes 14 altogether. And this time, think about this. B, anything to the 0 power is 1, and 1 times b to the 25th is b to the 25th. This, in a lot of ways, explains why something to the 0 power is equal to 1. Think about it a bit, and hopefully it'll make sense to you. Of course, we're adding the exponents, which gives us b raised to the 25th. Nothing changes. Okay, express your answer without a denominator. So we know that this is actually p to the 74th, and it's in the denominator, but we're supposed to keep it in the numerator, I believe. So p raised to the negative 74, nothing changes. Yeah, without a denominator, there it is. Okay. And t to the 7th. Keep in mind that that t is really t to the 1st power, which of course gives us 7 t's multiplied together. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, now I like this one. We are adding them together, but think about this for a second. Hopefully you've done this before with the negative exponents. This g to the negative 3 means 1 over g to the 3rd. Remember, we move it across the division line and change the sign when we have negative exponents. Well, this is being multiplied by g to the 8th over 1. Well, these 3 cancel with 3 of these to give us g to the 5th. And of course, if you add negative 3 and 8, you get g to the 5th. So I know that's a really quick explanation, but hopefully it makes sense to you that negative exponents mean that they're in the denominator and that they're being divided into that one that's in the numerator. Anyway, there it is. Let's see if we have another one here. Okay, so now we've got u to the negative 1, and this one is u to the 1st, which gives us u to the 0. But we really shouldn't write that. We should write 1. And of course, if I think about it, u to the negative 1 means 1 over u times u, which is u over u. Of course, that is also 1. Sorry for 1, duh. Anyway, there it is. We're assuming that u is not 0, and that seems like an important, that may not seem important right now, but you can't have 0 in the denominator of anything. So just something to keep in mind. Anyway, it's just 1. Hopefully it liked that. I was a little worried about it for a minute there. All right, so we've got same, remember, always check for the same bases. This, of course, is k raised to the 123. And looks like we are done there. Come on. Let's see. Oh, now this is a little more interesting. Okay, so I've got a to the first, and I've got a to the -1, and they, of course, cancel each other out. I've got a b to the 8th and a b to the first, which gives me b to the 9th. And then we've got a c to the 0 and a c to the 0, which is just 1. So the only thing left is the b to the 9th. I'm going to cancel these. I'm going to multiply these as well. And I get b to the 9th power. Interesting. I like that. Come on. There it goes. Getting a little lag here. Okay. Okay, we've got some q's that are the same base. So I've got a q raised to the 1, looks like 128. We've got an r to the 65th and an r. So that's going to be r to the 66th. We have an s to the -33 and an s to the -91. And when we put those together, we get s to the -124, I believe. We're talking about 33 and 91, which of course is 124, yeah. And they're both negative. And then we've got a t to the 32 and a t to the 7th, which gives us t to the 39. Man, lots of ugly stuff going on there. A lot of things to memorize. Anyway, that s is really in the denominator, but we're not supposed to write it without the denominator. Notice that these are in alphabetical order: Q, R, S, and T. Generally, we like to write expressions in alphabetical order whenever possible. So anyway, there it is. Q raised to the 128. And then I got to move it, R raised to the 66. Don't forget, you got to touch your thing to go back to the base. S raised to the -124. And finally, T raised to the 39th. And I'm going to erase it just real quick to make sure I've actually got them correct there. And it looks good. Okay. Easy to make an error on that one. Hopefully it'll get easier from this point on. Nope, doesn't look like it. We've got an a raised to the -48. That'll take care of the a's. Then we've got b squared. I'm getting rid of the marking so that we don't mess it up. Next, I've got c to the -34, it looks like. All I did was add my exponents. 2 and 0 makes 2. -47 and -1 makes -48. And of course, -29 and -5 makes -34. One of the things that I keep commenting on and over and over and over again throughout this entire channel and over is if you cannot add integers perfectly over and over and quickly, and you keep pushing the buttons on the stupid little calculator. I mean, it only costs $1, but don't do that. Use your brain. Start doing your integer addition until you get it down. So practice your integer addition. It'll really matter. The people who fail Algebra 1, almost everybody has trouble with integers. That's one of the reasons they fail. Anyway, this is t to the -85. There are a lot of people who are going to add those together and get -89 or +85 or all sorts of possible answers that are wrong. When you look at these two, and I'm adding -87 with 2, I'm asking who won. The negatives win by 85. So there it is. Oh, nice easy one. R to the -4. There are seriously people who will grab a calculator for that. which is a really bad idea. This is r to the 38. Looks like they're getting a little easier, which is nice. All right, almost done. Sorry it took so long. Looks like we're heading on 10 minutes here. We got r to the negative 56. And then we have an s raised to the 0, which we don't write. And we have a t to the first. Looks like that's it. That s to the negative 1 and that s multiply together to give us 1. Again, really important. Whenever you have negative exponents on a variable, that variable can never be equal to 0. And like I said, that's going to cause problems later. Looks like that's it for that one. All right, let's see. Oh, nice long one. Okay, so I'm getting rid of the p's. Notice that I've got a p to the first and a p to the negative 1. The q is to the negative 9, so I'm going to write that. And we've got an r raised to the 89, negative 89. And then we have an s raised to the negative 96, it looks like. And it looks like that's it. I'm just going to double check it. The p cancels with the p to the negative 1. The q is combined for negative 9. The r's are combined for negative 89. Yep. And the s is just negative 96. Yep, that's it. All right, one more time. We have r to the 83, to the 83rd power, I should say it correctly. S raised to the negative 94. That's how you would say that. T raised to the negative 99. And finally, U raised to the 8th power. And of course, those negative exponents can't be 0. Looks like it's okay. All right. Oh man, it's going to go slow today. Okay, r to the negative 60. I should say negative 60th power. Looks like we have c to the negative 1. And d to the 9th, huh? Looks like that's it. Yep. Okay, looks like we have a p raised to the negative 102. Oh, missed the 0. Don't want to miss it for that reason. Q raised to the 98th. And an r raised to the 97. P, Q, R, looks good. And, oh, nice easy one, G to the negative 33. Looks good. And 2 more, dang, it's slow today. All right, so we have F to the 7th, G to the negative 88. Oh, gotta be careful, gotta make sure you touch it. I don't know if you saw what I did there, but if you don't go back to the base, it messes it up. Looks like we have H to the negative 3. And I think we're done. F, G, H. Looks good. One last one. Okay, almost done. Man, it took a long time. Oh, a nice easy one. Our last one, D squared. So I hope you guys will do it yourself and get your mastery. So I'll see you back again. Bye, everybody.